in the State Museum of Contemporary Russian History in Moscow, Russia, looking at the results of the first 5-year plan by Barbara Stepanova. This image is particularly interesting because it's a collage of sorts, done using a technique called photomontage, in which images are superimposed over one another to create the impression of there being one image. Russia had for centuries been an absolute monarchy ruled by a Tsar or emperor, and after the First World War, followed by a civil war and a series of uprisings, found itself ruled under Vladimir Lenin, who established the Union of Socialist Soviet Republics, or the USSR. The new state was celebrated by artists and intellectuals who saw an opportunity to end the corruption and extreme poverty that defined Russia for so long. That's right, and this newfound freedom within the USSR allowed for experimentation, particularly by Stepanova with the photomontage technique. This particular work is a prime example of propaganda, which in this case was an effort to show world powers such as Britain and France that the USSR was a leading force in the global economy. Using images, the public was able to see the results of the first 5-year plan, rather than just hear or read about them. The plan was a set of goals designed to grow the Soviet economy and accelerate its industrialization. The plan was successful, but the image is ideological, only showing the positives of industrialization. This desire to convey a certain image of the USSR is reflected in the photo montage, which is carefully constructed. Red is used, as it was the color of the Soviet flag, and there's lots of additional imagery that gives us the same idea as to the grand success of the 5-year plan, such as the large crowd of people in the electrical transmission tower. Bearing these symbols in mind, it's important to remember that the work is a manipulation of reality based on the ideology of the 5-year plan. The plan eventually resulted in many being reduced to extreme poverty and the spread of famine across the nation. Terror, violence, and fear replaced the plan's initial optimism. The creativity employed in the results of the first 5-year plan, regardless of Stepanova's political restrictions, was instrumental in pioneering photomontage and revolutionizing how we understand photography.